So, have you ever felt like everything in your life suddenly stopped making sense, like nothing feels the same anymore? That might be one of the stages of spiritual awakening. Welcome to this video when we get into know the 7 stages of spiritual awakening, what they are, how they show up, and why your life feeling upside down might actually be a breakthrough in disguise. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share a few tips that really helped me navigate my own spiritual awakening, and I believe they will help you too. So let's break it down together. The first stage, no one really talks about it. It's the pre-awakening stage, where you think your life is going well and everything is perfectly fine, right? But it's not really like that. You begin to notice small fractures, little doubts, or feeling that something just isn't right. So this is the first stage when your life seems great on the surface, but something deeper is starting to shift. The second stage, it's the famous dark night of the soul, or I like to call it the shock stage. So I like to call it the shock stage because it feels like everything in your life is falling apart, right? You start doubting yourself and might even feel like you're losing your mind. And you don't feel connected to your surroundings or the people around you anymore, and everything feels chaotic. And it can seem like it all happened out of nowhere, right? And this stage really forces us to face things in our life that we can't ignore any longer, right? Our shadows. And you might feel like you're on a different planet, or feeling a little bit depressed and wanting to shut down and avoid talking to others. Which leads to the third stage. It's the loneliest one. The solitude stage, right? Often people call it the hermit stage because in this stage you are being forced into solitude. Whether you like it or not, and even if you plan to go out or meet someone, something might get cancelled. When I started my spiritual awakening, I had a lot of plans, like with people and friends, and everything like got cancelled, and I didn't realize why. And it's like I know that it's the universe is like making you stay home alone, right? It's forcing you to face yourself. And there's a saying someone told me at the start of my spiritual awakening: instead of going to the mall, go inward. And at the time I didn't understand what it meant, because when we're forced to be alone or to face ourselves, our natural tendency is to run away or distract ourselves, right? And I do like going to the mall, but don't get me wrong, but during this stage, there's a necessary period of being by yourself to do the inner work and the self-reflection. Okay, the next stage is you are not your mind stage. This part involves a lot of ego work. You begin to see many of your problems and old self-identity. You realize that it really comes from your ego. And the part of the ego, it's the part of your mind that filled with conditioning and self-image and lies and doubts. And your mind has tricked you for most of your life into believing you are something you are not, right? And as you become more aware, you realize you are not your mind, you are not your fears, and you are not your thoughts, because you are so much deeper than all of that. You are a spiritual being who has taken on these layers, which really makes you feel less powerful or disconnected from your true self. And in this stage, you start noticing all the false beliefs you absorbed from your family and your environment, and you slowly begin to understand that you are not those beliefs. You are much more than that. And people often call this stage the ego death. I don't fully agree with that term, because you can't really kill your ego. But what you can do is you can become aware of your ego, the part of your mind that making you think all the negative thoughts and all the doubts. And when you become aware, you start to be less affected by those thoughts, less and less. And over time, they won't have much power over you. And this is going to lead you to the next stage. And the next stage is the emotional detox stage. This stage, the emotional detox stage, you might feel a lot of intense emotion. So even cry for no clear reason. I used to cry a lot when I started my spiritual awakening. And the reason is that because it's all the old layers inside of you starting to break down, and your whole world feels like it's falling apart. And it's like losing part of your old identity. And sometimes this process can feel overwhelming and bring up strong emotions. But this is really the healing work, right? People call it the healing work. And it's really necessary. It's a necessary part of your journey, because being alone during this time really helps you to do this deep inner work. And you have to face yourself. You just can't run away, right? So just allow yourself to feel these emotions, and think of it like an emotional release that you need to go through in order to grow and to level up and to really move forward in your spiritual awakening. And this has led me to that leads me to the next stage that I call it the total bliss stage. After going through the initial spiritual awakening, which can take months, right? For me, it took me like 9 months to start to balance my energy. And you start to see the results of your inner work, and you feel more peaceful and have many blissful moments. And I've had moments where I cried tears of joy for no reason, just because of the healing I've done. And you just feel a sense of gratitude. I can't really explain it. It's like your true soul is starting to emerge and finally coming out. And if you experience this, you know exactly what I mean. And in this stage, you begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because you feel more balanced, more connected, and aligned with yourself and the universe. And you might not care as much about having lots of friends, right? If at the beginning you really cared about having a lot of friends, now you don't really care about it, because your connection to yourself feels like stronger than ever. Then you don't really need anyone. But here's the catch. This stage, like all the stages, it doesn't last forever. And that leads us to the next stage. And the next stage is the mini awakening stage. This stage comes after the bliss. After the bliss, you're going to experience ups and downs again, and that's totally normal. You can't release all your emotional baggage all at once, right? Like if you are 30, 40 years old, you just can't do it all at once. And your energy will start to stabilize, but the process isn't finished yet. These mini awakenings can actually last for years. Like you feel like you're going through a spiritual awakening over and over again. And this part of your spiritual growth it's not a one-time. Your spiritual awakening isn't one-time event or a deadline that you reach, because it's not like saying, okay, I'm awakened now, like everything is cool, everything is perfect. It's more like a spiral. Your spiritual evolution is like a spiral. You keep evolving again and again. And sometimes the process will feel intense, but the most powerful energy happens at the very beginning of your awakening. And over time, you get used to it, and you'll handle the ups and downs with more grace and ease. And I want to share a few things that really helped me to navigate those times. But before that, if you are going through a spiritual awakening and it feels really confusing, intense, or overwhelming, and you feel alone, so just know you are not alone. And I'm offering a free 30-minute discovery call to support you. So if you're ready to get clarity and to feel more grounded and to move through this journey with more ease, you can apply for the call at the link below. I'd love to help you. So, like I promised, I want to share a few things that really helped me to navigate this spiritual awakening, and I'm pretty sure they're going to help you too. First, practice mindfulness, because your mind won't leave you alone during this time, because it feels like it's losing control over you. And it's not actually dying, but it feels threatened, right? So when you bring yourself back into the present moment again and again, you stop feeding your thoughts, and with time, those thoughts are going to affect you less and less. So just practice being in the present moment, because this is like, if you want to, to feel better, the easiest and the easiest way to do it is to practice being in the present moment. And I can't stretch it enough, because this is what really helped me to navigate all these confusing times. So just let's see all the stages here. All right, so the second advice I have to give you is to just take it one day at a time. Don't pressure yourself with big questions like, is this going to end, or will I ever feel normal again? Even if all you did today was cry, that's progress, because that's a lot of release and that's a lot of shadow work, and that's really important. So just let yourself and allow yourself to fall apart. And lastly, celebrate the small wins, because a moment of peace, a new insight, or this matter more than you think. And talk to yourself with kindness and encourage yourself like you would a friend. Be gentle with yourself. Don't criticize yourself. And and the last advice that I can give you is, don't do it alone. There are people who understand this path, and if no one in your life gets it, look online, find a spiritual group, join a safe space, or reach for support. You are not alone in this. So I hope this video was really helpful, and thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.